All right, number one, we're finding lateral area and surface area of the given prism. To find lateral area, we are going to say that the lateral area equals the perimeter times the height. The perimeter of the base is 19 by 5, so it's all of that distance. Not 19 times 5, it's the perimeter. So we're going to say 19 plus 5 plus 19 plus 5. Then I will multiply that times 4. So when adding that, we have 48 times 4, which gives us 192 squared meters. Talking about lateral area. Now, for the surface area, remember that surface area of a prism is lateral area plus twice the area of the base. So we've already found the lateral area. So that's going to be what? 192 plus 2 times the area of the base. And the area of the base is the 19 by 5. So 19 times 5 in this case. We will then double it and then multiply it times, or add it to 192. So 19 times 5 is 95. So I have 2 times that. And then I will add it to 192. So my surface area for number one is 382 squared meters. And that is all for number one. Let's look at number two. Number two says find the surface area of the cylinder in terms of pi. In order to find the surface area, we have to know the radius. If the diameter is 14, then the radius would equal 7. Surface area, well, we're doing surface area. We didn't have to know that because surface area is 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So given the radius, we're going to plug it into our formula. 2 times pi 7 times 15 plus 2 pi times 7 squared. Now we're leaving it in terms of pi. So I'm going to have 2 times 7 times 15. 2 times 7 times 15 gives us 210 pi plus 2 times 7 squared. 7 squared times 2 gives us 98 pi. So then we simply add 98 plus 210. We get an answer of 308 pi squared centimeters. We wanted it in terms of pi, so that's all we have to do. Number 3. We're asked to find the lateral area of a cone the lateral area of a cone is 103 pi. The radius is 37. Find the slant height. So if we're given the lateral area and the radius, we want to find the slant height. So think about what our formula would be. So lateral area for a cone, we have to take the distance around the base, which is circumference, so that's 2 pi r, multiply it times the slant height, but since it is a cone, we would have to divide by 2, so those essentially will cancel. So lateral area is 103 pi equals pi. R is 37, and we're looking for L. So we're going to divide both sides by 37 pi. And by doing so, the pi's will cancel. So we have 103 divided by 37. It says round to the nearest tenth. So slant height equals approximately 2.8 centimeters. And that is our solution. Number 4 says the volume of a sphere is 3,000 pi squared meters, or I'm sorry, cubic meters. What is the surface area of the sphere to the nearest square meter? So number 4, we're looking at the volume of a sphere. Now, the volume for a sphere, 4/3 pi r cubed. We want to know the surface area. In order to find the surface area, we have to know the radius of this sphere. That's our whole goal first. Once we know the radius, then we can find the surface area. So volume is 3,000 pi, and that equals the formula of 4/3 pi r cubed. So we're solving this equation for r. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal here. 3 times 3,000 divided by 4. We can simplify or just straight multiply. 3 times 3,000 equals, divided by 4, gives us 2250 pi. And that equals r cubed, which we know that we can get rid of the pi's. So then 2250 is equal to r cubed. Remember, r cubed is what number multiplied times itself 3 times. Gives us 2,250. Most of you have the calculators to take the cube root of a number. Alright, so our radius is approximately 13.1. But we're not done. That's just radius. It wants to know the surface area. Surface area is 4 pi r squared. So we're going to say 4 times pi, and our radius 13.1 squared. 13.1 squared times 4 gives us 686, because it says round to the nearest square meter. And that's, oh wait, that was just pi, but they said square meter. So I have to now multiply that times 3.14. So I apologize for that. So then surface area equals, to the nearest meter, 2155 squared meters. 2155. Remember, on your calculator, you're looking for a button that looks like x square root or cube root of y. That's what you're looking for on your calculator. Alright, number 5, it says, are the figures similar? If so, give the similarity ratio of the smaller figure to the larger figure. When we're talking about similarity, they have to be proportional, and their sides have to be proportional. Their perimeters or surface areas and volumes, they have to be proportional as well. So are the two figures similar? We can look at it and we can see that, yeah, we know that 5 corresponds to 15, 6 corresponds to 18, and 17 corresponds to 51. That is an extended proportion. Are all the sides proportional to each other? In other words, would all of these reduce to the same fraction? 5 over 15 would reduce to 1/3. 6 over 18 reduces to 1/3. And 17 over 51, guess what? 1/3. So are they similar? Yes, they are. The similarity ratio is what they all reduce to. From the first to the smaller to the larger. And that's the reason why I put all of the smaller numbers on top, because it does tell me smaller figure to larger. So my SR, similarity ratio, is 1/3. And lastly, let's look at number 6. The radius of a circle, or for circle O, is 18. And OC is 13. So right here, OC is 13. From O to C is 13. Find AB. We want to know the length from A to B. Now, what did it tell us? That the radius is 18. If the radius is 18 and I drew a line from some random point here to O to B, that is 18 units. So OB is 9 units. I'm sorry, my bad. Let me back up. That says radius, doesn't it? I'm doing it the wrong way. If the radius is 18 units, that means just simply OB is 18. We have a perpendicular lines, so that means within here we have a right triangle. So how could I find this segment here? Pythagorean theorem. So I would have x squared plus 13 squared is equal to 18 squared. Once I know x, this side is going to be x as well. We'll learn that in the next couple of days. So then I simply add them together or multiply it by 2. So 18 squared gives us 324. 13 squared is 169. So 324 minus 169. 324 minus 169. So x equals 150, or x squared equals 155. So I have to take the square root here and here. So to take the square root, it does tell us to round to the nearest tenth. So the square root of 155 is 12.4. So if x equals 12.4, then AB equals 2 times x, or 2 times 12.4, which is 24.8. That is your startup for this week.